there's an aspect which I think could maybe and hypothetically be great for the future of XCN, and let me explain why, even though nothing I say is financial advice. And that's regarding the Onyx AI agent. Now, before I talk a little bit more into this, usually people think about payments and global trade and finance when it comes to Onyx, but I think this could maybe be a game changer moving forward because, for instance, this is supposedly an intelligent blockchain assistant powered by XCN. Again, if we take a look at the Onyx AI agent, it can assist maybe in other ways, such as hypothetically deploying a smart contract or let's say launching an ERC20 token. Again, I think this is pretty cool and pretty awesome because when we think about Onyx, typically, at least a lot of my friends, we don't automatically think about, hey, it has an aspect of AI. But then arguably, I would say that through, again, the Onyx AI agent, I would arguably say, yeah, it kind of does have an aspect of AI in that sense. And this is on top of being focused on payments and global trade and finance. Not to mention, if we consider the AI market is expected to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030, according to Grandview Research. I'm not saying that this is going to kind of dominate the space. I'm not saying that. But I think that's pretty impressive nonetheless. And it kind of showcases, I think, the forward thinking mindset a little bit of Onyx. And it showcases that, again, they understand the trends, maybe. However, when it comes to the idea of 25 cents, it still hasn't left my mind because I'm excited with what Onyx is doing. And I think fundamentally, it fits kind of into the narrative. Like Onyx, or should I say XCN, it's kind of often now viewed as somewhat a little bit of an alternative to XRP and XLM. So I do like that narrative there, despite the price pullback. When we take a look at Onyx, again, it just kind of gives the vibe of Ripple and Stellar. Not to mention, we take a look at Onyx, we'll have to wait and see what they do with Goliath, but if they can really launch the mainnet, that would be awesome, right? When it comes to Goliath, supposedly a layer 1 blockchain for the world of finance. Sure, some people might think, who cares about that? We already have the Stellar blockchain, which is already very fast, very reputable, very famous. A lot of people pretty much know about it. But then I still think that having Goliath could be a good, maybe, morale booster for maybe individuals like myself who are fans of, Onyx. Not to mention, we take a look at what they're doing when it comes to the wallet. Now, when it comes to the wallet, I get it. Sometimes you like to say, who cares about the Onyx wallet, right? It's really nothing special having a wallet, but I think it shows, again, the progression, and I think it showcases as well that it seems to be heading in the right direction. Other projects, I feel like with XCN's market cap, with kind of the reputation and the notoriety, sometimes they just kind of, chill. However, I think Onyx is constantly pushing the envelope. I think it's constantly trying to kind of improve, and it gives me a good sort of vibe where I feel like maybe it might be around for the long term. Now, when it comes to 25 cents, considering current circulating supply, market cap around $8.7 billion, around a 22x from here, keep in mind, XRP not too long ago, market cap was like, 200 billion, give or take. I mean, from that point in time, is it logical, let's say in the next 6 months, for XRP to do what, like even a 10x from there? So what, the market cap is going to be like 2 trillion? So if it does like even just a 20x, what, 4 trillion from that point? I am not saying that when it comes to something like, XRP, well, I'm not a fan of that because I still believe in XRP, I still believe in XLM. But XRP is a very massive market cap, right? Or should I say has a very massive market cap. Like doing a 20x, I'm not saying in the next 5 years, 10 years, I'm not saying that. Let's say in the next 6 months. Even if I believe in the project, I don't even know if it's going to do that. So then to me, because XCN, relatively speaking, lower market cap, doesn't have something that massive, again, in terms of size, like let's say the volume needed to do a 20x, for instance, doesn't seem as massive as that, or should I say that is needed, right? It's not a guarantee that it will do that, but then if let's say it does, it feels like it might hypothetically have supposedly an easier time than something that has a market cap that is already like, well beyond $100 billion, for instance. So this is why I'm staying patient. Now, some people like to say, oh, when is the fully fledged type of altcoin season going to happen, all this type of stuff. To me, I don't think that there's going to be a way for me to know the exact moment in time. Even though I pulled up a price chart and drew some random triangles, the market's not going to care about that, right? It's not going to pay attention to what I have to do there. So there's one thing that I can do, though. That is just stay patient, hold, and I just wait. That's it. I'm just preparing for a moment in time. That's about it. I'm just taking a chance, quite essentially. I mean, there's really nothing more complicated beyond that, because I am just holding, I am just waiting. And again, whatever happens to the markets when it comes to altcoins, that's totally beyond my control. But the only thing that's within my control, even though I'm not telling you to do anything, again, just personally, I am just holding, waiting, dollar cost averaging, and that's it. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.